I'm from Oregon. It's one of the states with a ban. I was just looking at the list of states with some sort of restrictions, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Oregon, Hawaii, a bunch of them. So you said that that whatever the law is in this space, because I'm not familiar with what we're doing federally, certainly know what happened in Oregon. What can we do to address that issue now that's changed in the 40 years since, actually more than that?
So, first of all, you come from the state, as you know well, and I should start with thank you for the question. But the Trojan reactor was prematurely shut down and decommissioned, and so you're probably familiar with that site, that there is nothing left there except for the spent fuel casks that house the spent fuel safely and securely. And what I would imagine that the people in that region would like to do is have that material removed from that site so the site could be used for other purposes. The structures that we've had in the politics around our long-term solution have not resolved that issue. And so I think that's a great example of what needs to be resolved, whether that's an interim storage facility that's enabled and how those aspects are dealt with is all wrapped up into the Nuclear Waste Policy Act.
Right now, how many different places do we have nuclear waste stored across the United States?
I don't remember that number. I might defer to Ms. Korsnick on that.
Yeah, 50-some locations, because the government has never picked up the used fuel. It's stored at every nuclear site that we have, and you've had to build additional structures. When I was the site VP at the Gannett plant in New York, we had to build the first interim storage for that plant in order to house it.
What cost do you think that adds to your megawatt hour, the storage of this stuff? Or maybe the better way to put it is the future storage, because it's a long time.
Yeah, actually, it's costing the taxpayers because we have sued the federal government because we had to have this incurred costs, and so now they are having to pay for this at each of these individual sites.
I went up and visited the Hanford site and saw the vitrification exercise going on there and the steps they're taking. Is that something that's happening at each one of these plants?
So the Hanford site has waste from the federal government, and so that's a different style of waste. The waste at each of the operating nuclear plants is solid fuel in solid casks,
So
very safely stored.
recycling is the most likely. But I want to go to China for a second.
Sure.
So
I mean, recycling is a part of an integrated storage solution, but I would just say it's not going to prevent the need from a deep geologic repository, so it's just a piece. And I agree with what you were just, conversation you were just having, that I think the Nuclear Waste Policy Act needs to be sort of refreshed with a look of what's really needed today.
What's France doing? What's France doing? It's got all kinds of nuclear activity. Does France store all this stuff at each site?
Well, France is reprocessing, and they are also looking at a deep geologic repository to house what's left, if you will, after reprocessing.
It seems like we ought to be working with whoever else is struggling with the same issue. I'll skip over China for a minute and go to Vogel. For years before I got here, I owned stock in Southern Company, so I got blessed with a report every year showing how much more it was going to cost. And so I'm just curious why you went with nuclear and not gas years ago. I looked at the cost. I think it was $15 billion when it started. It was like 30 or 37 when you guys got done. So it's a successful plant, as I understand it, because I talked to Congressman Carter about it. I'm sorry, I listened to Congressman Carter about it a lot, and he's very supportive. So tell me, why not gas all those years ago, and do you regret the decision?
So thanks for your question, and I would say it was the right decision when we made it in 2009. It was the right decision to keep going in 2017. We're thrilled to have 2,200 megawatts of base load energy available for the people of Georgia. You have to go back. It was a very different time when we started building Vogel. We needed base load generation in our service territory, and natural gas was around $10 per million BTU. So the lowest cost option for our customers at that time was to build Vogel.
Right now, well, who knows? You can't look back, I guess, without knowing you could have done it better. And so, yeah, that's obvious. I'm gonna quickly go back to you to China for just a moment. Are we gonna ever catch up when it comes to nuclear? Seriously, with all of this stuff, the burdens nuclear faces here, China seems to be zooming ahead. Are they much less safe over in China now because of the way they're doing it?
Do you love this country? Because I do. And there's no question that we're going to zoom ahead of China.
And sadly, I can't respond.